Oh yeah, it's gonna be 30 seconds, all right?
All right.
Radio.
ATL Jacob, you are on the Factor. Are you ready?
Super.
Set. Go.
You gotta make sure you're on key, cause everything gotta be tuned up the right way.
It's a lot more smarter, a lot more wiser, got a lot more
20 seconds.
friends, a lot
He
more.
had the chain like the NASA chain. I seen that shit. I said, y'all niggas is that's the craziest chain I ever seen.
Welcome back to another episode of the Producergrind podcast. Ellen Carrington once again.
What's good, fam? I see y'all repping for Wall Street Hippies, man. I'm still looking for my shirt.
Already.
Oh yeah, shout out to my guy Jamie, man. That's my
I
bro.
need one. Jamie, sponsor me.
I need one.
Yeah.
That's what it is, but we got the homie in the building today, and I'm proud to introduce this man. He has worked, produced, engineered with free bands gang, including Young Thug, Future, Casino, Lil Baby, Hood Rich Pablo Juan, Gunna, O3 Greedo, Travis Porter, Day Day, Domani Harris, Lil Durk, Tracy T, Hustle Gang, Young Scooter, Bankroll Fresh, Schoolie, Soulja Boy, T Hood, Wap Tarantino, and head of the drum firm. Please welcome to the show, D Sims.
That boy real talented, baby. Do all them names just like that. I just want to say that.
For real.
No cap.
What's popping with you, Sims?
Man, just trying to stay cool on a hot day.
I heard that in Georgia.
That's some real Georgia shit right there. That's some real Georgia shit.
But I'm
man.
not even from Georgia. I'm from the South, though. So
Oh, okay.
I know that southern
that
heat.
that humidity heat.
Yeah.
Well, shit, Sims. Anybody that don't know you, if they don't tune into the content, just introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Man, I'm Daniel D. Simmons. Man, I'm 25 years old. I'm a music producer, recording engineer, hailing from South Carolina, Charleston area. I've been traveling all my life. Man, just making music and just working hard. And then I just reside in Atlanta, I engineered for or produced a lot of people's favorite artists.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. That's what it is. Who are some just some of the people that you've recorded recently, the most recently? Like, I know you went out to Seattle. I know you've been traveling. Like,
being out in Seattle, I worked with some dope artists, some really good independent artists. I met my best friend from college. His brother, Kenayata, he's one of the biggest artists out there. And from working with him, I actually got a little EP I'm dropping with him. Working with him, I got introduced to a lot of great artists out there like Nacho Picasso, Dave B. I know it's a kid out there named Tristan Thompson. He's pretty dope. There's Lil Tracy, who's got a song with Lil Uzi right now. It's going crazy. Seattle has an amazing music scene, and just the vibe there was just dope.
that's what's up. Well, we see, you working with all the top artists, like everyone that our audience aspires to be with. Just talk about some of the events that led to your success, like kind of, the little highlight points from you first starting off to getting to where you at now.
Man, I've been producing since I was 13. Yeah, started at 13. Picked up FL Studio because of my cousin. My cousin, I used to come to Atlanta and visit him and just really just hang out with him. And he started recording and making beats. And then one day he just like showed me FL Studio. It was like FL Studio 7. And I was just addicted ever since. It's just
Ever since then.
Ever since. And as a kid, I would just kind of put my stuff on, like, at the time, it was like MySpace. Like, it wasn't like how we got Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and everything. It's just MySpace, and then YouTube is being introduced. But the way we use YouTube to market beats now wasn't like that. So what I started doing, we used to do like remixes. Like we used to, like I take like an acapella and I make like a new beat and then I put it with the music video and then it's like a D Sims remix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that actually got me like a lot of views, like a lot of attention. And then from there, I just, was networking on the internet and I got my first placement at 15 with Rich Kid Shawty. Everybody may know him as Shad the Guy from Hustle Gang, and OJ Juiceman. It was called Trap Bunk. And that was a big record for me at the time because like that was the time OJ Juiceman was XXL freshman. So it was like, it was like cool. And then ever since then, I just kind of work. I was actually living in California at the time. And then when I got to college, I decided I want to move down south and just be down south and be closer to Atlanta. So I could just eventually move there because I was working so many artists on the internet from Atlanta. They was like, bro, you might as well just come this direction.
Business took you down here.
Yeah, just in a sense. And then after that, just kind of trust my gut and was just like, I need to be in Atlanta.
So what was that move like? Did you find an apartment online? Like how did?
No, my mom actually moved first.
Oh, okay.
While I was in school. And then from there, I just kind of just tagged along and then just kind of just
That was a perfect scenario, man.
Yeah, my mom just really, she believed in me just enough. Like, yeah, my son's gonna be great in Atlanta. Just to do it, and she moved out here.
That's dope.
Dropped everything.
That's real dope.
What's your mother do for a living?
She works at a law firm right now.
Okay.
And my mom was kicking me out the house for me.
I'm partnering honey right now.
Swear to God.
I'm looking for new apartment right now, so I know that feeling.
Yeah, mom was like, that shit's too loud. It's over with.
Man, I used to get that, like, man, shut the hell up. And now it's be, hey, baby, go add that. Like, I like that. Like,
Who all these people you're bringing in the houses know this?
Yeah. Just working hard, man. Just trusting in God, trusting in my craft, and you know what I'm saying? Just let me hear.
Hell yeah.
Like, no science. I ain't got nobody in the music industry as a family member, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't even have no musical training. Like, I just picked up a, program and just learned everything from there. That's so good.
So, what is it like, to work for like a major studio, and, you know what I mean? How can you avoid like getting taken advantage of, and, as an engineer?
Being yourself and having personality for once, so you could just stand out and just not be just, oh, that's another engineer. Make sure you come out and just be like, oh, this is Sims. We come to see Sims specifically, or that person or this person. You know what I'm saying? Bring more to the table than just press and record. You know what I'm saying? Be a good people person, have customer service, you know what I'm saying? Treat people with respect. I'm just big on that. Just really just treat people like normal people, regardless who it is. The perks about working at a major studio, for anybody who don't know, I'm one of the main engineers at LoudHouse Studios. I've been kind of doing some other things at the moment. Just, I like to travel and stuff like that, just to work at other places, and just to get some fresh air sometimes. Every engineer need to do it. Every producer need to do it too. Just go other studios, get different vibes. Go meet other people. I never believe in getting stuck in one place. Period. I just like to go see different things, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just like to go travel the world.
What are some of those perks that you were, talking about?
You know what I'm saying? Just be able to meet different artists on a daily, and just you right there with the artist. You are recording with the artist. So it's like, if you're a producer as well, then it's like, okay, boom. Like, I can press play when the artist need beats right there, instead of you have to go through the email, or you have to, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's just, you're right there in the room. It's the difference. I'm right there in the room with these favorite artists. I got a lot of these placements for being there, not from an email, or, you know what I'm saying? I got some placements from email, but, majority is personal relationships with these artists. And I got that through, just saying, being known at working at a studio. And then now I can take that and go other places with it. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to look at the avoid being overwhelmed and being overworked part of the question, right? Because you and I, just being colleagues in the industry, you've told me a couple stories. Yeah. I remember one week, it was probably about 3 weeks ago, you were telling me a story, and it really resonated with me, because it was like the third story I'd heard this week of just engineer, overworking. I got homies in other cities that are dope engineers, and I'm saying, yo, there's a need down here because engineers are getting overworked. It seems to be like a phenomenon almost. Can you kind of talk about how that happens and why that happens?
Trying to keep up with the artists. So it's a couple artists that can be up for 3-4 days, and you just gotta know when to say yes and say no. I listen to my body first. You know what I'm saying? If my body say I can't move, I ain't moving. I ain't doing nothing. I even heard that today. I went to the barbershop and did the barber. She like, yo, if I'm tired, I ain't cutting no hair. It just period. Gotta shut down. You just gotta know when to say yes, know when to say no, and just really just trust your body. Take care of yourself. Like I had to take that personally, because one time I stayed in the studio for like a week straight, just nothing, just grinding, just straight up. Just like barely getting sleep, eating crappy, didn't really take a shower like that, brush my teeth, wash my face or whatever, and got back to the money. But at the same time, after that, I got sick. Not like a flu or anything, but my body just shut down for like a week.
It's like drained, right?
Yeah, I was just like, I felt horrible. And I was like, I will never feel like that again. So after that, I just really started thinking about just taking care of myself a little more, getting more sleep, or just saying, yeah, I need to go home, or just taking care of family stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just more so make sure, my folks straight, just make sure my responsibility is at home is straight. I can't stay in the studio 24/7 because then you close in the box and you just forget about the outside world. Then you like, yeah, you're working, but the shit outside, outside that box is crumbling around you. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Foundation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a human being first and a music producer second. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be a human first. That makes the music better. Make sure I feel comfortable, in life.
Why are engineers afraid to tell the artist no?
Because they want to keep their job.
And they're probably caught up in the moment too, right?
Yeah,
oh my God, I get to record
some
for
get a
such
little
and such.
starstruck. There's some artists that if you see they know what they're doing, let them know, let them do their thing. And when there's the time to speak up, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather speak up and say something and then, you know what I'm saying, at least I said it, rather than just, I don't have many opportunities to say something. I just sat there and it just flew right past me. And then you just sit there regretting it, like, damn, I should have said something.
You mean like as far as like
placements or just, opportunities or just networking? There's plenty of times I've been out and be like, damn, bro, right there, I can go talk to him. And I'm just like, nah, because I'm an introvert sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I had to break out that shell just to really just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that regret is like the worst thing.
Like, damn, I'm in the room with this person, but I ain't get to say anything to him. You ain't got to sit there and be like, haggle him, but you can just be like, yo, pleasure meeting you. This is what I do. And you will see me one day again. Like, I done met Kanye before, you know what I'm saying? And just really, I just shook his hand, just say, hi, I'm Sims. You know what I'm saying? Hi. He introduced himself to me. He was like, hi, I'm Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you ain't talking to me.
In case you're sitting there watching this and you was thinking about feeling yourself, just remember that Sim said that Kanye came to him and introduced himself. And that's huge, man.
Yeah. That's why nobody can never talk shit about Kanye to me, because like I met him as a person and he was nice to me.
Where'd you meet him at?
Streets X.
Oh, okay.
I used to work there. My mentor, St. Lou, used to work there. And I used to work there heavily with Travis Porter.
Oh, okay.
Doing a lot of engineering. I seen Strap the fool the other day. That's my brother. He taught me, he was one of the main artists that helped me like record, you know what I'm saying, recording him and just really just make me feel comfortable working with artists. Teach me how to make my beats, to cater to artists. Yeah, it gotta have that wham, little bro, or it gotta be structured like this, you know what I'm saying? I make my beats catering to the artist. I don't think like other producers, or I've been saying this lately, like a lot of producers gotta stop making beats to impress other producers. I'm here to impress the artist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we go to a lot of these events, they come play, like to get my opinion. Like my opinion, it's cool that you want my opinion, but I'd rather you take the opinion from the artist, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that you selling your beat to. They're the ones you know what I'm saying, you trying to get the placement with. You're not trying to get the placement with me as, these things. I'm trying to get my own placements, you know what I'm saying, or get my team placements, or, you know what I'm saying, everybody around.
Yeah, that reminds me of like when we were in Charlotte and we had class up there, and the beats that he pointed out were different beats than what everyone else would think. Just because he was listening from an artist standpoint. So definitely to validate what you were just saying.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
I was about to ask the next question. I swear to God, I lost my focus. I looked over at Samo. He was eating something. Yo, next question.
Samo gonna be a new superstar. Samo gonna be a superstar after this.
Superstar director.
Like, I swear to God, y'all gonna see this a couple weeks ago. Like, he was the one that he saw the stripper fall and bust her head. Did you hear about this?
We gotta
talk about that. Yeah.
Man, look.
This poor man. We gotta leave this girl alone, man.
Plug. We was like, Plug got put the 808. You see when Plug do the 808?
The 808 hit her head, buzzing his head.
I was like, yo, bro, Plug, that's gonna go viral. Like, that's my boy.
Spencer said she popped up like a G, so I don't really feel bad. Like, she's a pro.
Man, God bless her, man.
God bless all the strippers, man. Stripper culture in Atlanta is crazy, man. I don't even like going to strip clubs, but I just appreciate the culture because it coincides with the music.
It's a hub. It's the hub. Like, that's where the music breaks in Atlanta, in the strip clubs, you know?
Exactly.
I want to
talk about that, you know?
Yeah.
Man, I don't even go to strip clubs like that. Just what the time I have, I'm inspired. Not even just
I think your girl don't let you go to no strip club. Let's get that
not
first.
even just on the ass shaking, just because, like, it just puts you in the real Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, it's just real Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? If you
It's
just
the culture.
Yeah, if you a producer and you want to figure out the Atlanta sound, go to the clubs first. You know what I'm saying? Go hang out, go eat some chicken wings, go see what the strippers are shaking their ass to, so you know the type of bounce that they have. So because if you're saying that the record breaks in the strip club first, you gotta have that in mind. You know, not necessarily the strip club, but just to have that knock where it translates to, because it'll start the strip club.
Something that just want to make your body move.
Yeah,
really.
It'll start the strip club, then it'll hit the streets. Then after that, it might hit the internet, and then last
finally break the radio.
And you see a lot of artists coming out of Atlanta kind of hit that. They kind of started, saying in the small clubs.
What are some that come to mind when you think about that?
For example, like Day Day, or I remember also he was doing like the battlegrounds. Like he was doing the battlegrounds.
Battleground.
Yeah.
Battleground.
Or I remember like Coco Vango, he did the battlegrounds. And for Yesterday.
So can you kind of talk about that? Because this is a conversation we had with Cicero, who was on the podcast.
Boy, I think I seen him just the other day.
Yeah,
he was just up here.
Yeah. But he was talking about when he got here from Chicago, that time he spent interacting with the city and getting to understand the sound. Just how necessary that is if you come here from somewhere else. And, how can you take the Atlanta sound as it is right now today and make it your own?
Like I said, just that being yourself and just being true to where you come from. Like I'm from South Carolina, which is close to, Atlanta, but it's a little more countryer. So like, I grew up on a lot of soul music. I grew up on a lot of like churchy kind of, music. So, I add, or, I kind of add that vibe, to that. Or I just make sure like when I make my beats, it's a universal sound, to like all generations, not just to a younger generation, but to the older, because you want all sales. You don't want just one sale.
One thing that's always impressed me about you is you've been making beats for a long time, and the stories we've exchanged, I know you know how to make every kind of beat, but you so are in tune to the trap sound. How did you do that?
Just because that's what I like. I just love heavy drums, period. Or just the feeling. Or I listen to music that reflects on what I'm trying to do on a daily basis. Like, I listen to a J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, every once in a while when I'm in that mode or that mind state. But if I'm trying to wake up to get some money, I want some motivating music to get me some money. You know what I'm saying? So it's just more so I just elevated that, but I just take my musical taste and just add that on top of, the, heavy drums or wherever people want. You know what I'm saying? I don't steer too far away because, you don't want to confuse like the artist, or just, when something too left field, you like, yeah, I get what you're doing, but you just did too much of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Most definitely. Who would you say, your favorite major artist to record is and work with?
Thug was one of the most like interesting, just I learned so much from sitting behind him, as an engineer, because like he knows how to use Pro Tools. And from what I can see, I know Alex Tumay, taught a lot of, just especially just knowing Pro Tools and just knowing how to structure records. But I know he's actually sat there in front of the computer and did this for a long time. So it helped me grow as an engineer. So when I started recording other people after him, like it felt like a breeze. Like I was like, oh man, like man.
What's your favorite Thug studio story?
Oh, it's too many. It's too big. It's too big. I will let her live. That's what big bro. I gotta let her. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I know one thing we did want to ask you about was, first thing, remember when Staffa was on? Staffa?
Yeah.
And Staffa,
he's from Carolinas too.
Oh, that's right.
He's from the Carolinas too.
And he was saying how like if you had to give an artist like a crash course in how to use Pro Tools, like Thug is like the perfect example.
Yeah.
Right. So
because I'm pretty sure like with his speed matches like a Chris Brown or like a you know what I'm saying, or a lot of major artists. So it's like if you can know how to keep up with him, you probably be able to keep up with a lot of these other major artists.
So when Thug is looking at the screen, he knows what he's doing. When he's looking at it really intently,
just like in that meme.
That's what I wanted to ask about, man. That meme that was floating around, and everybody got a laugh out of it because he didn't produce so many jokes, but you know him so personally.
When I seen it, I was like, oh no, right now, oh no.
Sims know exactly what he's feeling.
Like, he's like, oh no, they made the studio meme. I was like, no. And usually, you know how Lil Durk was sitting?
Yeah.
That's you.
I'm usually Lil Durk. Just sitting there, was like, okay. Okay, just because I just want to make sure I be able to pay attention to what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure I pay attention to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't pay attention to what's going on, all the other people. I might just look through the door just to see who's walking in and out, but I make sure, like, what is he doing?
Now, what is it like? I got a question. Like, what is it like working with these major artists? And like, once you come, like, they work at a different pace. So, like, what are some of those things you're picking up? Like, more than just like, oh, this is how I operate Pro Tools. What are you thinking? Like, what I guess that sounds like real, like trippy, but mind expanding or like things that you take away with substance. Like, what do you learn from them?
Better business, how to treat people when you have money, how to not treat people when you have money. You know what I'm saying? Just learning the pros or cons, just how to make an entity or just that person, you know what I'm saying, operate. It's being an artist is a whole business. It is a business. There might be one person a star, but you don't know how many people is behind it just to make that one person a star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The engineer, the producer, the A&R, the DJ, the cameraman, you know what I'm saying? Every little person has a job and it all correlates to, you know what I'm saying, just the artist. So.
Definitely.
So when you're in the studio and you're recording, like a lot of difficult situations pop up. These artists want it done quick, fast. How do you stay calm when the software starts malfunctioning and Thug be in your ear?
Either Google or ask for help. Or you figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to fix things because it's not my first time around the rodeo. If I know how to fix it because it's not my first time encountering this problem. And there'd be times where you still gonna be looking dumb, but you take that as the lesson. And many times I have been looking stupid in front of, like, you know what I'm saying, in the studio with like feature everybody. They be like, bro, this sounds crazy, bro. You doing a horrible job. And I'm just like, crap.
Yeah.
And feature is looking at like, just walk out. And I'm just like,
So because you've done it, you've come back from it. How do you
bounce back?
I mean, you just go back home and you go back to the drawing board and just, you know, don't take it as, don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Just really just dust it off. Ain't nobody shot you. You ain't get a bullet. You ain't go home with a bullet in your shoulder. So you're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, you live and you learn, you know, and we all grown men and women. So, you know, we just take everything with stride. You know what I'm saying?
Good advice for every engineer. As long as you don't go home with a bullet hole, it's a good day. It's a good day.
And your ego intact. You know what I'm saying?
And
go home.
That's realer than they really know right now.
You're going to be all right.
What about like mixing clients? And, you know, like I know I've you know, done mixes in the past, particularly online clients. And when they want a million revisions, because they don't understand, like we got to wait for Pro Tools to load, pull up the session, do the fix, bounce it out. Like they don't really realize that, like, okay, one little 2-second revision is really like a 15-20 minute thing, bro. You know what I mean?
It could be even more. But the thing about revisions, the biggest tip I learned, and my partner in Seattle, like homie Gibson, he told me, like, I had to do a revision for this female artist working with, and I was sitting there frustrated, up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, like, bro, she talking about she want this and that. Yeah. What the hell? It sound good. What the hell she talking about? And he was just like, bro, why don't you just do exactly what she said? And I was just like, well, yeah. All right. And I did it. And she was like, it sounds amazing. Thank you. And I was just like, wow.
So what do you think? You were just like overthinking it?
Yeah, bro, that's one of my biggest weaknesses as a person, as a human being, is overthinking. I overthink so much that I have been trying to calm down on it. I just let things, you know, just kind of just take things for what it is and just keep it pushing. And just, if somebody says something, if that's what they want, I'm gonna give it. That's what I'm gonna give you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get a happy client. You know what I'm saying? Customer is right.
It's weird how we see ourselves versus how other people see us, right? And you see yourself as somebody who thinks too much. But I look at you and I'm like, damn, he knows a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to find a way to like know a whole lot. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't trade it. I know I can call Sims with certain questions. Sims going to know, or Sims going to tell me how to find out.
I went to school, you know what I'm saying? I went to HBCU. I didn't go to like a Full Sail or like a, you know what I'm saying, SAE. You know, I have homies that went to Full Sail, SAE, or, you know, working at a studio. I have interns and stuff, and they still ask me like, you know what I'm saying, how you do this and do that? And all my stuff came from experience and self-learning, because I be on YouTube every day. Like, I watch Producergrind. I watch everybody else's podcast just to learn something new, just to be like, oh man, what the hell y'all talking about? Like, I learned like the 30 Hertz thing from DJ Burn one the other day. And I was just like, oh, that's fine. But I'm not just y'all. I watch everything. I watch Genius. I watch, other.
What you mean you watch Genius?
ain't no
Sleeping with the enemy face ass.
But no, I watch I really watch everything just to,
for sure.
what I'm saying,
Most
get knowledge and just really just learn something new every day. I never feel like I know too much as I'm teaching seminars, I guess, but I still feel like a student.
Student mentality.
That brings me to a good question. I'm gonna ask you an overrated, underrated question, and it's not from our overrated, underrated segment. But do you think going to recording school is overrated or underrated?
It depends on what you get out of it.
If you could go back in time and you had all your knowledge erased, would you go and drop 60 bands on a Full Sail education?
No, because there's not the same knowledge out here for free through life.
All learning is a series of practical applications. You get some information and then you go try it out. Sometimes people can't get that without going to school. But like, if you know the homie, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I call people, yo, can I intern with you? I'm like, yo, that's great, but I need to learn this or I need to learn that. That's it.
A lot of my biggest connects actually came from going to school. Like my production partner, like I met him in school. Like a lot of people I run into on a daily basis, I have met through being in school. And it's just like, wow.
But you didn't go to recording school. You went to
it's just that networking part, you know what I'm saying? Just knowing a lot of people just really helped for my career.
Did you ever start off as like an intern for a studio or anything? Or you started off interning? How important is that? Like, just talk about that too.
Like, also that, just interning in a studio. I have connections to, the connections I have to this day are from when I met, people I met during my internship. I interned at a studio called Top Shelf Studios. It's off of Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Nice private spot. What happened? Like a lot of people I met like people I worked with in free bands. I started recording Young Scooter there, because their engineer Chop House. They be there. They from Carolina too. Those are my boys.
Shout out Chop House.
Yeah, Chop House J. Smiley face. They was recording him at the time. They were doing 80 Babies. Tape with Young Scooter, and there was time they'll be there. There was time Scooter ain't. So somebody got to record Scooter, and I was the next guy for a job, and I got placements there. With Scooter, I even got one artist I work with named JG. I got him a feature from Scooter from be able to, what I'm saying, just was recording him at the time through my internship.
So it sounds like just being around all those people is not necessarily, not even the fact that you wanted to be an engineer. Well, you wanted to be an engineer when you went to, like that was your goal when you became.
It was more so just to better myself as a producer as a whole, or just being in the environment.
But overall, just exposes you to much more. Because I know, like, I wouldn't be sitting here now if it wasn't for my internship at 12 Studios. Shout out to everybody at 12 Studios. Yeah. Appreciate that.
12 is a great studio.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure you learned a lot from.
I learned so much, and like it ultimately led me here. Really, so it's like it's a blessing.
Yeah,
you don't even need to know exactly what it is you want to do. Things just grow, and like the way God works, it just naturally things just come together.
Like other people you run into later just be like
Cake Boy.
Yeah, Cake Boy.
Shout out Cake Boy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The Valley.
Yeah.
When you keep your mind open and you understand, okay, I have this goal and I'm going to do anything to get there, right?
Yeah.
Like here we're finding ourselves on the Producergrind podcast. Like I don't think anybody set out to host a podcast.
Yeah.
But you kept your mind open. Like, hey, if I want to get a placement, I got to try these things.
Yeah.
And this is how life happens.
Yeah. Like I put my pride to the side. I work hard. You know what I'm saying? I got here because
cleaning toilets. You got to do everything. You know what I mean?
It's like
humble
it's
yourself.
not even about like.
It's not the action, but just the mental.
It's more so like if I tell an intern to do something, it's more so I just want to see you can follow directions. Because if you can't follow my directions or you can't follow the artist's request, then how you gonna expect to follow them when you're recording? You have to listen to them. That you have to listen to music. You won't even listen to what they're saying, but you want to listen to their music. No, get out the room. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't even listen to what's going on. You can't even pay attention to your environment. You know what I'm saying? First.
That's facts.
Most definitely.
And you start building that reputation, because I know people that I've run into from 12, like if you build a good reputation back then, even when you wasn't nothing, when you start advancing in your career or whatever, they'll remember, oh, bro was nice to me all the time, or bro was always working hard, you know what I mean? So it's huge, like more ways than people can even think, really. Yeah.
You just not being a dickhead sometimes.
Oh, I'm telling you. Just the most valuable.
Just take you a long way, bro.
Yes.
Just, just being a good person. Just sometimes
Not getting walked over, but just being nice.
Yeah, just you know what I'm saying. Just show that good people still exist out here.
I
You know what I'm
feel
saying?
like
in
it's
this industry and just in life. Period.
I feel like it's sad. Like one thing I have been having to remind all the bros this week is like, be you and be like nice regardless of how people treat you, because that people will try to take advantage of somebody who's nice. But I don't want to tell like, keep doing you, because what's owed to you in the universe is going to come to you for being a good person.
Always.
That's facts.
Always.
So that brings us to Overrated, Underrated on the Producer Grind podcast.
That's the fun part.
Overrated, Underrated, where we present you with 5 topics. You simply respond if you think that's overrated or underrated. If we feel it merits further discussion, we'll ask you to explain. So we have D Sims on Overrated, Underrated on the Producer Grind podcast.
Overrated, underrated.
D Sims, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Overrated, underrated, stock plugins.
Underrated.
Boom. Say it one more time.
Why? Because they're made for the program. They sound best with the program. No matter Pro Tools, FL, whatever, I might use different plugins for, you know what I'm saying, different tones or just different characteristics. But if I just need to get the job done, you can always use stock plugin. Sometimes I heard like Future records, and I'd be like, damn, that reverb sounds so good. Recipe Seth Ferkins, he was using the goddamn stock reverb in Pro Tools. I was like, what?
So speaking of learning things from each other, like I asked you that question because of what you talked about in Dallas. And like when you started going through your tutorial, your Cook It Up keynote, and everybody's like, yo, you're using a lot of stock stuff that's just NFL. And you said that exact answer you said. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It was made for the program.
It's made for
JB
it.
be saying the same thing. He was like,
Yeah, the
they
algorithm.
put it in there for a reason. I'm
Yeah,
like,
the algorithms just in it just sound, you know what I'm saying, just programmed to work a little bit. It just, you know, never
It's a
see a
better
stop
fit.
plugin really crashing or really acting buggy. You know what I'm saying? It's
yup.
built to work with it.
Overrated, Underrated on the Producer Grind podcast with D Sims. Overrated, Underrated, interning at a studio.
Also underrated, but can get overrated. Don't let all these studios run you to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Just do your thing, and if you're meant to be there, be there. If not, you know what I'm saying, go to the next studio. Just because I interned at one studio didn't mean I was meant to be there. You know what I'm saying? I went to, I started at LoudHouse and started in one room. And it was me, my mentor, St. Lou, my boy Mucho at the time. And at the time, I was just recording K-Famous and blew up into a whole studio.
Overrated, Underrated, working with a major artist.
It can be overrated. I just sometimes I can't work with certain egos all the time, or it's some days I can be like, yeah, I'm with it today. Like, let's go. Let me go hang out with superstars today. Some days like, nah, bro. I feel like being a regular person. I'm still a regular person when I'm with everybody, but you know what I'm saying? Not with the rap cap.
I was gonna say, if you had to put a percentage on it, this percentage up and coming, this percentage established, where do you sit right there as far as who you work with?
As an established?
Yeah, like what percent is established? What percent are you working with? Spending your time working with up and comers?
I feel like I've been trying to work with more up and coming.
Would you say it's 50-50? Would you say it's...
Yeah, just more so. Or I try to be the connection between the independent and the majors.
Facts.
As the producer, that's what your job is. Just the more so like, hey, if I got the resource, if this person want to work with this person and they got the resources to put it together and I got that connection to do it together, I'm going to make that phone call. Because especially I'm going to be a part of it some way, producing it, engineering it, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of paperwork, something, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting some percentage out of it. You know what I'm saying? Being able to make them calls also is a job in itself, or just is a skill in itself. Networking is a skill in itself. It is something that can get you paid in itself. That's just one aspect. Gotta learn how to monetize off everything, little thing you do as a producer, because you can't wait on these beat checks all day. For sure. You gotta do something in between. So I'm ready to make some plays. You know what I'm saying?
Overrated, Underrated on the Producer Grind podcast with D Sims. Overrated, Underrated, mixing for online clients.
Both.
Nah, you gotta pick one.
Both. You might find the next artist, but at the same time, sometimes money's not everything. Sometimes if it feels like a headache, I'll be like, no, I still don't want to do it.
What's the most amount of money you ever turned down?
$1,400 for like mixing a whole project.
Mm.
And just because I was just like, after a while, I was like, man, ain't nobody paid me yet. So why the hell I'm mixing all this for? You know what I'm saying? I'm finna work on something else.
And lastly, on Overrated, Underrated on the Producer Grind podcast with D Sims. Overrated, underrated, Fortnite.
I don't really play Fortnite. Oh, I just played the other day at JB's house. So it was fun. And then everybody got me on PUBG. So that's my closest thing.
Yeah,
So
PUBG,
I guess
Shout out
underrated.
KO,
If it's like I've been addicted to PUBG. If Fortnite you like PUBG, then
You playing on the phone or the console?
yeah, on the phone.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Dylan says too much for the phone.
I fuck with both of them. I fuck with all of it. The Fortnite's too much for the phone.
Yeah, Fortnite's too much on the dang controller.
Yeah, you
You building
can't-
walls. I played a couple times. I was like, bro, it's too much.
If you nice at Fortnite on the phone, you the GOAT. That shit hard as hell.
Oh, yeah. Ninja getting big bucks off it though.
Crazy.
Sponsorships, man. Real thing.
So that was Overrated, Underrated on the Producer Grind podcast with D Sims.
Yeah, did I get passed? Did I pass, guys?
I was saying,
I don't know. Like I know, like you passed the own factor. I don't know if you passed Overrated,
He
Underrated.
slick didn't answer one, but
All right, so
I kind of just
we see you and a lot of the other guys from LoudHouse rocking a lot of the Tulones gear. And I thought it was dope, and I just didn't know too much about it. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about your relationship with the brand.
man, because of Matt. Shout out to Matt Tass. That's like my best friend.
And that's what else, yeah, man.
It's
man.
just an Alabama thing. So I support all country and I support dope brands. So shouts out to Tulones.
Oh, they're based in Alabama?
Yes.
That's what's up.
Mobile.
You know the owners or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like two of them. They pull up, be dropping clothes off. Everybody just,
For real?
yeah, it's like 2 or 3 of them. And they be decked out.
That's what's up.
Decked out, they got.
Shit, tell them push up.
Man, I know, man. I know.
Tulones.
Zoom in.
Shouts out to Tulones and shouts out to Wall Street Hippies, man.
Yes, sir.
For
man.
real, Wall Street.
Look, I just strive on being like a tastemaker. You know, just like the difference between like being a producer and a beat maker. It's just more than just making a beat. It's just showing you got good taste in pop culture. Like being like having good taste in music, having good taste in fashion, having good taste and you know what I'm saying?
All important.
Just everything.
The whole
you know what I'm saying?
package.
A lot of times when you be a good tastemaker, you just know how to put things together. Like I feel like Kanye is who he is as a tastemaker. You know who's an underrated tastemaker? Sonny Digital. Sonny Digital did a lot for the production culture and for Atlanta and the Atlanta culture as a whole, just by putting certain people together. Or just, you know, like the first person that ever rapped on 21 Savage beat was DJ Plug. And that was because of Sonny Digital. Gotta do your research. I do my like I'm not from Atlanta, but I have done my research or I've been involved in Atlanta culture enough so I know and I give my respect when respect is due. So it's like I'm not from here, so I gotta, you know what I'm saying, give extra respect just to coincide.
No, I feel like that's an important point you just made. Like, so for instance, someone that moved, that's a producer, and we'll keep on going with Iowa. Someone that came down to Iowa and is now getting it's coming down to Atlanta. How important is it to just go ahead and do your research and stuff? Because it takes time to get adjusted to the culture, and that plays a huge role.
Yeah, man, I seen one interview Sonny had, and this dude walked up, was like, "Hey, you're Metro Boomin," and he's like, "What?"
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
seen that too.
he's like, "Yo, you know, Metro was staying at my house." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, "You don't know what I done," and you walk up to me. You know what I'm saying? These my bros. You know, these my peers. These is, you know, it's bigger than just making beats. You know what I'm saying? We struggle together. It's different.
So what would you say to someone that just moved down here that doesn't know the culture yet? What would you tell them to do? Or
Like
what
I
did you do?
Just,
Well, I know research.
just not only research, but just became a part of it. Just become a part of the culture. Do something. Do something for the culture. Not just the Atlanta culture, but just the production culture as well. That's why I do the seminars, you know, just being a part of the culture, saying, just fully dive myself in so I can just say I have contributed something. Don't just do what you do. Contribute something. Contribute something. If you contribute something, you last longer. Last longer.
Gems.
Oh,
Most definitely. So let's switch up the topic a little bit. Let's talk about, do you think drugs make artists better, or do you think it just slows them down and hinders their career? Or do you think that it helps them tap into more creative energy?
it's a 50-50 thing. to me. It's just kind of like, I feel like as long as they don't harm themselves, like a Lil Peep, like rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? All my folks in Seattle, they kind of coincide with his people. And they told me like, saying a lot of stories. And it's like, if everybody taking drugs, no business can get done. Somebody gotta be sober, be able to get some money, handle some business. You know what I'm saying? I feel like do what you do, be creative, you know what I'm saying, to have your creativity, but just don't put your life at stake, don't put your business at stake, don't put your family at stake. And, you know what I'm saying, don't put your finances at stake, man. Like, handle responsibilities or just know what you, like.
It's like a fine line you got to walk if you're going to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know my limit. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, do anything other than I probably, like, smoke, you know what I'm saying?
Does weed even count?
Nah, we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Other than that, I might drink every once in a
feel
while.
about
it could
producers?
definitely slow somebody down though. Like
I might have a drink every once in a while, son, but that's, you know what I'm saying?
It's like you get someone in the studio that smokes way too much, it'll mess up the workflow. And like, have you ever had those experiences?
Every time I've
before?
like, all right, cool. Or there been time, even with, you know what I'm saying, record Thug or something, like I come in sober. Just so I can just know, just like, yeah, I'm going to pay attention.
Do you ever have like instances where people just come in the studio and just get too faded, like they can't even record anymore? Or like,
and just fall asleep?
Yeah.
I don't know if I fell asleep or that's part of the job. That means you go in the other room, go make beats.
So you still getting paid, right?
Seems like you want some more NyQuil, man. Go ahead, stay asleep. I got a couple beats I'm trying to knock out.
Okay, I do have a question. What's the most like wildest drug you see in the studio? We're like, yo, come on.
Horse tranquilizer.
I know we seen the lean. I know we seen the perk.
That don't sound like the DJ Smoke. Horror high story. Nah, I ain't been around nothing too crazy. Like, so, if it was, I'd be like, yeah, I need to go home today. Because that's just not, you just don't want to put yourself in that environment.
Yeah, it's a big, like safety in the studios is a big thing.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm concerned about, my safety. I want to make sure, at the end of the day, everybody, not just me, go home to their family every day.
The thing that most recently,
everybody's people.
The thing that most recently tripped me out, I seen was the Molly. Just like, which I guess I kind of get. You want to feel good or whatever, have a good time. But it just kind of caught me off guard. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody has their own thing they do. It's just, again, like the problem really comes is when you putting other people's lives at stake and when you putting other people's lives in danger and yourself too. But you're your own person, so you do what you do. But nothing that should affect everybody else.
When it comes to like a business and the person who has the money, everybody should protect the money. Protect the money. Everything should operate around the money. If the money's gone, what's there? Can't do.
But not just to just solely focus on protect the money.
Not protect the money, but you know what I'm saying.
Like a leader, look out for the leader.
You know what I'm saying. Make sure, be a good leader, and everybody else will follow. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying. Everybody don't do it. You know what I'm saying. Some people try to be the leader and the follower.
I'm just glad we grew up in an era where rappers wasn't talking about doing perks and all that shit. And you know what I mean? That shit wasn't cool. You know what I mean? I feel like
you don't think that's in the music now?
I think it is.
It
I'm
is.
saying, well, I mean,
we didn't grow up.
I'm saying I grew like I don't know. I'm 25, so like, I mean, like I guess it really just kind of started like what 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah,
you know
like
what
it's
I mean?
like more.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like when I was in high school and shit, like it wasn't really like cool. Like you weren't really hearing rappers rap about it like that.
Yeah, maybe like Lil Wayne, like Lean or something, but.
Yeah, lean, like, you know what I mean? But now it's like everything's cool. Like it's almost like heroin's cool. It's weird, bro. But I just like, you know what I mean? I'll be worried about my little cousins and little siblings getting influenced and all that stuff.
Yeah, bro. I just try to be an influence to my family as a peer. Or I just think about like, damn, how do I make my family look? You know what I'm saying?
The thing I think is weird too, I feel like in my generation, I'm a little bit older, but like we come from like, we studied the drugs before, no, for real.
We
studied the drugs before.
Crack started in the 80s.
Yeah, so like, don't take crack. Or if you take a perk, it's going to be like this. And I feel like these kids just popping anything. Like, do you even know what it does?
Be mixing stuff too. And people don't understand when you mix stuff, it turns into a completely different substance in your body. And that's where a lot of overdoses come from.
Yeah.
People just start mixing stuff up.
Or a lot of people mess up business or be treating people a certain way just because.
I mean, shit, look at Scott Storch. I just saw his Vivo how do you say it? Vivo? Vivo, yeah, okay, Vivo. I'm saying it right. But his documentary where he was just talking about, how it changed his life.
That too.
But that's a perfect example. Scott Storch is like, cocaine fucked this shit up, but he can smoke weed all day. In fact, he said like, I need weed
to keep going.
Which I kind of like, when you have to have that intense focus, it's kind of like it helps you like block out
like
distractions.
like
everybody has
especially
their own
like
thing,
being up all night, just straining your body and stuff like that. It's like not saying I ain't saying go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't promoting nothing, but I'm just more, so a lot of people, they just have their way to relax, you know what I'm saying? It don't even have to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some people, you know, do yoga, some people will smoke cigarettes.
Like have candles, like I've seen like Future have candles.
Future set up a whole vibe,
then
dude.
candy and stuff like rose petals. I walked in rose petals.
Like lavender oil.
Yeah, bottles of liquor, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so Sims, how does engineering, how has that helped you in your production, like getting beats placed and also just your mix in general?
Well, it helped me just opening doors for me, first of all, just be able to be in the room with the artist. Oh, you know, a lot of placements I have got is from recording the artist first. And then once they trust me as the engineer, then they're like, oh, bro, you make beats too, don't you? You know what I'm saying? So they can go through all the Metro beats and the Zaytoven and, you know, probably producing. Then after that, you know, you might have a little time to get your record, you know what I'm saying, play your record. And if it's good enough, you know what I'm saying?
Now, would you suggest for producers that have been producing for a long time, would you say go ahead and learn this craft, or would you say just maybe stay in your lane? Or
I say every producer you don't have to be an engineer, but at least know how to record, because the main reason I learned how to engineer is so as a skill set on top of me just know how to make beats. And also just, man, I read this like article on the internet one time. It was like, yo, if you was in the room with Rick Ross, right, and you wanted a placement, and then like the engineer got sick or he had to leave or something like that, and you didn't know how to record, and you just sitting there staring at Rick Ross, then it's like you just missed out on the placement.
True.
You really just missed out on the placement because you could have like, Ross, I know how to record, goddammit. All right, cool. You know, at least you have to be the greatest. You don't have to be, you know what I'm saying, like
but just
a Dave Pensado, but you just get the job done, and then just do whatever. You know, just go from there. Actually, Rick Ross engineer Tomcat, he gave me some of the biggest advice I ever heard, and he was just like, yo, he was like, you know how to engineer, right? Just go engineer. Just make it sound good. Like simple little comments like that, you know, it just sounds simple, but it just kind of straightforward. Just go do the job. Just make it sound good. Like I know there's technical things that go to it, but it just work. You know what I'm saying? Just make it sound good.
Don't make it complicated.
If the artists like it, if it sounds good enough to play in their car at the end of the day, your job is done. But engineering has also bettered my production though. You know, just knowing how to, you know what I'm saying, EQ my drums a little better, or just, you know, mixing vocals, or just even making beats. You know, as a whole, I structure it where I hear the artist's vocals on it already, or just have space for it already. So I just already know when I, you know what I'm saying, put it in Pro Tools and it blends well. It's already gonna blend well because I kind of mix for the final product. I just already just have that vision of the whole mix in whole. You know what I'm saying? Not just, oh, this is the beat, this is the vocals, slap it together, call it a day. You know what I'm saying? I try to mix with the whole end product in my mind as a whole.
Very cool.
So you made an appearance on Love and Hip Hop, and we were just wondering if you can talk about that experience and how you got that opportunity.
Man,
he famous?
not even. That was just working at a studio, working at LoudHouse, and JD and Pito, shout out to JD, Pito, and Jules. They was just like, yo, we having Love and Hip Hop. They just had a relationship with the people, and they was like, yeah, they shooting some scenes. It was like, yo, you want to do it? And it was just nothing there. I was just like, yeah, sure. Like, nothing special. They originally asked Turbo first, and Turbo said, nah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But I understand for, you know, what he, you know, the reason why he didn't do it. I didn't feel like, you know what I'm saying, it was his thing anyways. And they was like, after everybody do, even Turbo was like, yeah, you just seem more fit for it. You know
I'm curious, did anything have to do with, because when we had Turbo on here last time, he was kind of expressing his desire to be, hey man, I'm a producer, I'm not an engineer. You know what I mean? Do you know if that has something to do with it, or? I
mean, not even that. It's just, like I said, not even just rap cap, but just TV cap too. You know, he probably just like, nah, I don't need that TV cap. You know what I'm saying? But Turbo just do what he does best. And, you know, he does what he wants, and that's why he's successful. And that's my brother. I love him to death. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of everybody who I work with. You know what I'm saying? From Matt, Turbo, to goddamn producers that y'all don't even know about, like Zaban, goddamn. I picked up that kid Deadin from Toronto.
Yeah, shout out Deadin.
Just man, I can list producers that people need to know about all day. Y'all just come holler at me. Well, I be trying to tell artists when they link up with me, you don't just link up with me, you link up all the producers I know, because I'm going to tell all my producers, homie, like, yo, this is who I'm working with. This is who y'all need to be in tune with. And they gonna be like, okay, cool. And they gonna load your ass up because they see me working with them. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up. Like, so that's why I be like, yo, like, I'm worth more than just my beats. I just who I know and just who I can put your music in the hands of, or just, you know what I'm saying, what the connections I can make. That's what makes me more valuable. You know what I'm saying? As a whole.
And so we saw that you worked with Domani Harris. I'm saying his name right.
Yeah.
Domani? Yeah, talk about that.
Man, that's my little bro. I don't know him since like he was 12, 13.
How old is he now?
Like 17.
17.
Yeah.
What was
And
that like?
I met him through, you know what I'm saying, my relationship with Shad that I was talking about earlier, and my brother Joel, you know, who was managing that time. And I just pulled up and he was just like, I want to rap. And not even think about like, oh, he's Tip's son or nothing like that. I just like, oh, little bro trying to rap. Oh, it sound pretty decent, man. Let me help you. And then I ended up producing his first debut single with my brother Zaban. You know, I'm on now. And it's like, I looked at it the other day, 5 million views. And first time, the day after I graduated from college, I heard it on the radio. And V103, Grad Street premiered it. And that was a blessing.
He's definitely developing his own thing, because I had seen him around in a lot of studios before I put 2 and 2 there. I was like, you see Harris, and you see. And then one day I saw him in the pit. I was like, oh, that's T. And to me, that's a good thing, because he built his own thing, and he didn't just build his deal off.
He developed his own sound and just focused on like he just be like, I'm not trying to be like his dad. Not just necessarily like it was a bad thing just to be like Tip's son or something, but he just like, yo, I'm Domani Harris. I'm not Tip's son.
Yeah, it kind of like having your father be Tip is like, comes with that burden.
He's like, I ain't rapping because of my dad. I'm rapping because of me. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. And everything he done so far has been on his own, mainly. You know, he ain't asked for no help, no handout, no co-sign. He paid for his own studio time. He pays me to engineer sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he pay out his own money. He ain't got no label budget. He just, you know what I'm saying? Of course, he can probably ask his dad for something, but he go do it himself. He works hard. He works hard. And what he's real about every project that he been putting out. Either I've been on it or I helped him, you know what I'm saying, put it together. I produced 3 records on his last project, and it was 2 was co-produced by Simo, the drum firm, that's my cousin, and 1 produced by me. And then we were talking about even doing like a live version. And then we worked. Shout
out to Simo, by the way. Simo cool as hell.
Man, he gonna be like, oh, he finally shot me out. Head ass little boy. Man, that's my cousin, man. He's a great producer. He taught me so much, like, as a producer. You know what I'm saying? His taste of music is just different. He listen to pop music. He don't even listen to rap music sometimes. But he just opened my eyes like, yo, like, you need your sound need to sound universal. You stop making beats I stopped making beats, messing around with him, and I started making music. Like, a lot of producers need to stop making beats, bro. And I just be thinking like, yo, when I sit down in front of the computer, I'm making music today. I'm not just making 808s. I'm making what I feel. I'm making what's my emotions based off of. Regardless of the tools I'm using. I might play it out. I might use a MIDI. I might use a sample. Wherever I'm just feeling. Like, I don't care. Like, as long as you have, you know what I'm saying, be true to yourself and just have the creativity behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you.
Most definitely.
In a way, it reminds me a little bit of Will Smith's son, in that, you know, being that second generation, you don't have that same pressure to fit into the box. You have a little more creative freedom, if you will, because people know, like, okay, this person, you know, if they come from that kind of lineage, you know, we can give them a chance. And so people are going to give Domani more of a chance to be outside the box. They might give a brand new artist.
Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of like pressure at the same time, because, you know, they just
double-edged.
Yeah, they just like, oh, well, he ain't like his dad. And like, the whole point of what his dad has done is so he don't have to be like him.
Exactly.
And he can just tell it from his perspective. And that's what's more important. You know, I make music to tell his life from his perspective, not from just being like the son of a famous rapper, but just what Domani Harris go through. And the main reason I work with him so much is because he reminds me so much of myself as like my age.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, from his age, like, when I was 17, like, I was doing the exact same thing. I was throwing house, you know what I'm saying, throw a house party, just trying to get in my, you know what I'm saying, just trying to fit in. Well, not really fit in, but just, you know what I'm saying, just trying to live life and figure what life is about. And, you know, I try to be less like a producer, but more like a big brother. Like, yo, you can talk to me about anything if you call me. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like I don't look at him like Tip Sound, I look at him like my little brother because he reminds me so much of myself. You know.
That's real.
So that brings us to the factor on the Producer Grind podcast with D Sims.
I'm already lost.
So on our factor, you will have 30 seconds to answer the question, speak on the topic we give you. You cannot stop for longer than 1 second. You cannot say or and you must take up
positive.
the entire 30 seconds. Yeah. So we have D Sims on the factor on the Producer Grind podcast. D Sims, your topic.
You have to talk about the greatest caps of all time.
Ding, 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 ding. The greatest caps of all time is
decent. Hold on, I got some time on this one.
I got too many stories.
Coming out the gate ready.
He said, "Go ahead and put a minute on the clock."
All right, we got D Sims on the Factor on the Producer Grind podcast with 30 seconds on the timer. The greatest caps of all time. D Sims, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
The greatest rap cap of all time is when these rappers ain't trying to pay no producers. It's like, why are you trying to not pay us, man? It's like you flex the jewelry, you drive the car, and you do all this, and you just don't want to give us the money. Here, a little $40, bro. And you just made like 10 bands in a day doing shows, features, and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Just stop, bro. Invest in your craft, invest in your career.
5,
if the producer's
4,
comfortable, then
3,
we're going to make you comfortable,
2,
bro. And you don't have to worry about it.
D Sims, you have passed the Factor.
I feel like those doing that with
Let me breathe.
Comfortable paying the producer, you know what I'm saying? Still do more, you know what I'm saying? Your content will be even, you know what I'm saying, better than what it is, you know what I'm saying?
You're helping everybody out. You know what I mean?
Because
Everybody
we
gets
just
to
feel
win.
more invested, man. Like a lot of the artists I work with closely is because they have vested their time or their money. Not even just paying me, but just like, man, like for example, like shout out T Hood. He bought me like the Mac I'm mixing like a lot of his records on. You know what I'm saying? He paid it cash. Like he ain't had to do that for me. He's just like, man, look, Sims, you gonna be mixing my record? You need a computer? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't gotta worry about, oh, bro, you're gonna be like $500 for the mix. You know what I'm saying? Cause he don't pay, you know what I'm saying, like a band for a computer for me. You know what I'm saying? If an artist just, it ain't gotta be about money, but if you just invest into the producer and just make if an artist came and just make me feel comfortable, bro, I'll feel more like it, bro. You can have a beat. Here you go. Cause you know, probably like, man, bought some food for me, and, you know, gave me some smoke, you know what I'm saying? Or just, you know, just whatever, just make me feel cool being around you, or just make sure I'm straight at home.
Yeah, that's real
or
shit.
Or something like that. That's the difference. If artists, to all my artists, if you make the producer comfortable, they'll be more liable to work with you. I promise you. I promise you. It's not all about money, but just, you know what I'm saying, invest your time and treat us, you know what I'm saying, like how you want to be treated.
Thanks.
That's all we ask for. We ain't asking for much.
So we know you were MIA for a little bit. You were out there in Seattle for a minute. Just talk to us a little bit about what it was like being away from, you know, the Atlanta music scene for a month.
It helped me just see it from an outside in instead of being from inside out. Of course, when I came over to Seattle, they was like, what are y'all listening to? You know what I mean? Like, what do y'all listen to? Who's the artist we need to look out? But I'm like, what are y'all listening to? What reaches? You know what I'm saying? What's reaching on the other side of the earth or the other side of the country? Y'all, like, I came there and it's like, y'all listen to Lil Baby? Nah, not really like that. Y'all listen to Pablo Juan? Hell yeah, we love Pablo Juan. But I was like, oh, like, I work with 03 Greedo. And they was like, oh my God, you work with 03 Greedo. And he's like the biggest thing out there. You know, free 03 Greedo. Like, he was one of the coolest artists to work with. And he was just like, just the fact that I recorded, you know, timeless records with him, he's like, it just made me feel good on the West Coast and down South, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you think certain artists are able to have a presence in Seattle or anywhere in the country versus other artists? Like, what do you think it is about Pablo Juan that made Seattle?
Because like his persona and just like the Atlanta culture, and a lot of people just want to, you know what I'm saying? For example, like he just have this big rock star or just like mosh pit style
aura to him.
Yeah, so like when you go to a concert, you know you finna get lit. It's finna be everybody jumping around, stuff like that. And no matter what race or, you know what I'm saying, whatever music you listen to, if it just have that same energy, people gonna just attracted to it.
And you said that punk scene out in Seattle is real big too, right?
Yeah, like rock.
So
like,
that might factor into it as
because
well.
like a lot of great musicians came out there, like Jimi Hendrix, Quincy Jones, like, you know, just a lot of people, and Nirvana, like
Kurt Cobain, you said, right?
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
So, you know, so when I went out there, like, I learned about the pop culture out there because they even have like a museum for pop culture, and it was just like, oh man, like a lot of this great music came out here. I just feel real dived in, and then I just picked up stuff, and I even applied it to my production. Like, for example, like I've been using rock guitars in my production. Like my homie Gibson plays guitar, so I've been like, when I was out there, he was playing, like him and his partner was playing some shit for me, and just really adding to my production and just bring my production to a whole nother level. I've been adding a lot more live instruments as a whole, just so I could just have that feel in music. You know what I'm saying? So everything don't sound so programmed.
Go ahead and talk your reasons.
So how much for these guitar sound packs?
We gotta work something out. Gibson, we gonna talk about it. We gonna get some money.
Because I could use some live guitar for sure.
I feel like L was coming with the Reason Gang
Follow my boy.
spiel.
I mean, no spiel. I mean, you can use guitar samples in FL just like you use them in Reason. I'm just thinking like, that sounds smooth.
Yeah. That was John Boy too.
Yeah, John Boy, really did it. Yeah, that boy
Cold.
be
John
ripping.
Boy go crazy. Hell yeah.
That's my boy, man. The Louisiana, you heard me.
You
heard me.
So actually, it was some buck wild shit on the Shade Room or something last night. It just felt like Louisiana. The girl was going off on that dude, talking about you ain't gonna just be on the phone with another chick in front of me. Or
I ain't seen it.
And then they was racing horses in the background. I said, man, this feel like some Louisiana shit. So I commented, I was like, John, boy, this Louisiana shit. He said every state in the South but Louisiana. No, that's Alabama, that's South Carolina. Yo, that's some Louisiana shit.
Don't throw me a little. I mean, I went to Louisiana as a kid. I love Louisiana, man.
Where's you from? You lived there, didn't you? Or?
Yeah, I lived in Mississippi for a short time.
Okay.
And then as a kid, I used to travel there, you know, travel Louisiana. I've been working with a lot of Louisiana or just artists like Sherwood Marty. I worked with Ray Vicks for a little bit. It's a lot of dope artists. I love their music scene.
Now,
NBA Youngboy recorded him.
This is a question I was talking to Dylan about, or just talking to everybody the other day about, is like the Louisiana sound. Drake is really helping pulling that out and like making it more mainstream. Do you feel the same way, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like Drake been jumping from culture to culture because, you know, there was a time he was popping Atlanta. There was a time he was popping Houston. There was time he was, you know what I'm saying, just picking his rounds. You know, he was in, he in Memphis now. You know, it was time he was a Cali artist. You remember he's hopping on YG Records, right?
I guess I just from listening to hearing the radio more often, I just hear more of Louisiana sound. And the only person I could really credit for that
like,
is just
it's a culture. It's a Southern culture as a whole. It's like, for example, like I seen an Instagram video of Kevin Gates. He was talking about like twerking. And he was like, twerking came from Louisiana, but the girls ain't doing it like in Louisiana, so y'all ain't doing it right. And it was like, that made sense. Like, man, I hate when other people try to tell people how they supposed to live their culture or live, you know what I'm saying? Like, or just saying, oh, y'all wrong. But like, y'all got it from us.
Well, even when we went to Dallas, I felt like the Louisiana, you know, we had to drive through Louisiana. There were producers there. Who was my man's name that had the?
We had DJ Be Real. Bro, he was just to have him there.
He paid to get into the contest on some doppelganger shit and just
when he played his music.
Bro, we were feeling out him to win because he was just cheating. He was
as a goose, I grew up on that record, bro. You don't tell me like even in college I was.
Bro, you cheated. You know you cheated.
Me and my homies used to pull up Blasting Webby, bro. Blasting Webby, 216.
Webby, Hurricane Chris, all of that.
Yeah.
I remember
Hurricane Chris came out in what? I was in 5th grade when I was
like in
her.
middle school.
Yeah, I was in like 5th grade.
I remember when he played his beats like, oh, I remember this elbow swinging that shit. Like, they got their own bounce.
L got it ready to take somebody out.
Just make you want to get up and move. Man, like,
I've
I've been listening like that in Memphis, like how they do their 808s and stuff like that. Like, I feel like a lot of people 808s these days, they be like, boom, boom. But you remember, if you listen like old 3 6 Mafia, that 808s, boom, 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 boom. Or just like, you know what I'm saying, Louisiana,
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
just more of a bounce.
Remind me of David Banner sound too.
You know what I'm saying? I start adding that back in, or just the way I do my pattern. So it's just like the 808 just had the feel, just boom, boom, you know what I'm saying? The 808 can be the bounce too. A lot of people doing they bounce in the percussion kind of 808s just be kind of, you know what I'm saying, stagnant. Nah, I want to bring that feel back. The 808 instrument, it just ain't the 808 no more. You know what I'm saying? Because the 808, Cassius even said, he was like, 808 is the new baseline. Nobody playing bass guitar or playing bass guitars like that anymore. So it's just like what we got now.
It'd be hard when they do though. I like live bass over beat.
Yeah, of course. Like I even added to my stuff, but even then, sometimes the artists be like, okay, with 808, I might in my beats, I'll add like a live bass or just like
as a breakdown or something.
Yeah, break it down. You know what I'm saying? Just to give it that live feel, and then go back to the 808.
Mm-hmm. Shouts out to homie Julian St. James, dope bass player, but he does the 808 bass where you can play the bass in the 808 frequency.
Dangerous.
Julian St. James,
Dangerous.
Call that man. Yes, we've done work. Yeah.
Ooh, I need him. I need him. I seen this one thing. It was like a MIDI controller. It's like, somebody who played the guitar. It's like a MIDI controller shaped like a guitar. So it's like they play it control like
any sound you want type shit.
Yeah, any sound you want, you play it out, and then it'll play it as the MIDI.
Yeah,
that's
dope.
fire.
Yeah. That is dope.
So speaking of Dallas as well, man, one of the ways in which I got to know you personally was by doing our Producergrind events, our seminars, our keynote cook-it-ups and stuff like that. And I first got the chance to kind of see you live do your thing in Baltimore. So I just wondered if you could talk about kind of your experiences doing the Producergrind events and, what people can get from that, kind of what you got from it. We definitely got something from it and appreciate you.
I'm doing it for the producers. I'm doing it for everybody. And I ain't doing it for no check. Ain't no money. I'm just doing it because I love producing and I love sharing the knowledge. Like, it's enough knowledge for us to all get money. It's enough money out here for anybody. And if anybody, you ever been around, like, it's all right, when you get around certain producers gonna be like, man, I ain't trying to show all. That's because that's all they got. Yeah, that's because that's all they got. And if you're a real producer, if you show some sauce, that ain't it, because it's all about creativity. It's all about the creativity. If you creative, you can. That means as soon as you show this, you already on to the next thing. So half the time, the stuff I'm showing you, like, it's showing everybody, it's like, oh, okay, this is my basics. Like, I can really dive in. Like, if I really sat there and mixed a beat in Pro Tools, like, it'll sound way better than most niggas' beats. My rough mixes sound way better than most folks' beats.
Talk your shit, sis.
I ain't trying to talk shit. It's just more so I just took the time just to really like I listen to music and be like, my whole thing was like, I want my music to sound like that. Like, it was like a me too. Like, I want my music to sound like that. Like, I want to sound like that. How the hell do I sound like that? And I've sat there and I really found out how to sound like that. And I just want to be like, okay, cool. Everybody else needs to sound like this. Not like specifically like me, but just like, it's all about quality. Like, I'm trying to set the bar or just help set the bar or help quality. Like, I said this before, if I set the quality, that means good quality music is going to continue, and I get more music to enjoy, to be inspired of, and that helps me, be inspired and innovative.
They say be the change you want to be in the world. Like, that's literally what that is.
Yes.
Like, what's that Michael Jackson track? Or them I'm talking about the
man in the mirror.
I used to love that shit, man. Love that shit. I remember I was young. I'd be looking in the mirror. I'd be like, yeah. Well, shoot.
What's next for you in 2018, bro?
Man, I just been working on projects I just want to work with. Like, I feel like it's my time to shine as a producer and an engineer. Like, my main thing, I've been trying to put projects together. Like, for example, like the artist T Hood. Like, I've been helping him put his projects together, and we have a project our own. He's got several projects. Like, he got Flex Guy Mafia dropping soon. Shout out to Plug and Bobby. Just thank you for the opportunity. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Just to really just help them put together on the engineering side. But I learned a lot from them just to see how to really put it together, like what you got to do to, make a project together. They've been calling for features and making meetings, and they've been inviting me to meetings, just, introduce me to real powerful people, and I greatly appreciate it. And then he got a project with Cassius J. I feel like, I think Cassius talked about it a little bit, but that project sounds amazing. Can't lie. It's one of my favorite projects I've been working on this year. And then he gonna have Crackers Back too, and that's gonna be executive produced by me, and we're gonna have some great features and some dope artists on it. I've been working with other artists. I got introduced to this artist named Fresh Boy. He's flying me out to LA in like a couple of weeks, and we're gonna work on a whole project in LA. That's what's up. And that's gonna be amazing. I'm trying to get features on it and help them really put it together. J. Rain, he's a artist that mess with Scotty ATL. And he reached out to me to do like a little project together, and I'm helping him put his stuff together. He's dope. He's dope. Everybody should check him out on some like, he's like Southern lyrical. He remind me like a younger Crit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah,
like someone say you're a younger Crit.
I want to work with artists that, you know what I'm saying, just, I feel like just needs their time to shine. Like, I don't work with the artists that already got their time to shine. You know what I'm saying? And I contribute to them. But what about the next artist? What about the next, you know what I'm saying? Everybody worried about me working with Young Thug. I want to find the next, you know, it's not necessarily Young Thug, but just the next big artist. I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? I still want to be a part of every great artist, career, you know what I'm saying, with my production, but I want to bring people up in my career. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pull people up, not, you know what I'm saying, push people down.
Definitely, man.
And so other than that, just placements, recording, and more seminars. So y'all can come check us out. And they been on my ass about this screen. I'm like, what the hell y'all guys got going on?
Oh, by the way, man, Sims made a vow to be all up back in these
I'm in the comments. I'm finna goddamn, I'm on y'all ass.
He said he seen y'all coming for his people and he ain't finna let it happen.
Nah.
Sims want all the smoke.
Nah, I want all the smoke. Y'all been talking crazy. I'm finna talk crazy back. And
He said, I got time today.
I do want to mention it because they're going in on Kato right now and they mad because Kato told the truth.
Bruh, KO told the truth. It's not nothing wrong, bro. KO, it just sees it work for him, but it doesn't work for everybody just because it works for him. Like, I couldn't do what KO can do because it's just not my lane. You know what I'm saying? I got my placements, I got my money from being a producer and an engineer, not being on the internet. Just, you know what I'm saying? If KO got placements since, you know what I'm saying, makes great money off being an internet producer, but he also has great placements. You know what I'm saying?
Like everybody's been blessed and gifted with different talents, and that the reason why you have those talents is to find your own lane.
It's all about the lane.
Not only that, you don't know that Kato doesn't look at himself and think, God damn, that was damn near impossible.
What you mean?
Meaning, like, you could look at something you do and be like, shit, that was so hard. Could I even do it again, let alone could somebody else do it again? You see what I'm saying?
Just talking about like the whole process he had to build.
And then the other thing I'll say is, okay, if music is your dream and that's what you dedicated to, and that's what you wake up, eat, sleeping, and drinking every day, ain't nothing Kato gonna say that's gonna knock you off that. Period. Ain't nobody getting in the way of my dream. Fuck that.
Man, one of my teachers in college, he told me the biggest thing. He was just like, bro, he was like, every day, and not even just music, but just in the media job, you're gonna get told no every day. Period. No matter what, you know who you are, somebody gonna tell you no. And you just gotta turn that into yes one day.
Big up the homie, Cooking Up KO, our video director. I've been reading this week and I'm about done with this book. He gave me this book 2 days ago, right? Kevin Hart, man. This is not me plugging Kevin Hart, but I like to read stuff and get the lessons.
Bro, I love reading, bro. They say sometimes, bro, like reading a book is how you learn the lesson without making the mistake.
Right. And so one of the things he's saying in here, he was like, one, you got to keep an open mind with everything you do, right? But like
always.
But like it's about diligence, man. It's about dedication. And like the thing that you're committed to, nobody can get you off that path. You know what I'm saying?
You truly believe in it.
Like if you truly believe it, that's what you're doing. Ain't nothing nobody can say. Like this is your purpose and your destiny to fulfill. You know what I'm saying?
But one moment real quick. Okay. Kevin Hart, if you want to send a bag though, we definitely will work. If you want to send a bag, you know what I mean?
But there been days I have $0, -$, but that don't stop me from doing not a damn thing I want to do today.
Yeah. I'm about to plug. There's another book I just read. This is the first book I actually decided to sit down and like read every single day. But it's called The Way of the Superior Man.
I see that.
Nipsey Hussle.
I wanna read
bro,
it.
I'm telling you, y'all got a girl, y'all just dealing like just business or anything. That's my one recommendation. Phenomenal.
People be asking, well, how the hell Sims? How the hell you learned this, Sims? I read it. Like I go like articles. I read articles on mixing. I read articles on books. I read Zay book when y'all was like, "Oh, go read Zay book." Like I went and bought
Gucci
it.
book.
I gotta read Gucci book. I just, you know what I'm saying?
The subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Need to read that too. Like just reading as a whole just made me a better person.
Yeah.
Or just made me just.
It can't do no harm. It can't do no harm.
Well, this is what we know as producers too. Like it's not even about beat block. You're not going to be able to be creating 100% of the time. So how can you make yourself better when you can't practice?
Facts. Podcast too. Huge thing. Just always filling your brain with knowledge and good information.
Daily
Positive
V's
energy.
Gary's situation, or excuse me, Daily V. Gary V's Daily V. I started up on that on Monday too. That was really dope. He was talking about going on offense instead of being on defense.
Man, what on the way here, me and the Wiz kid, goddamn, we was Grant Cardone.
Oh yeah,
We were listening a bunch. He said if you focus on the thing you hate doing, he was like, you'll be very successful.
If you focus on the thing, you're doing?
Like for example, like everybody know me for engineering, but if I had a choice, I probably produce more than engineer, obviously. But I'm good at engineering. I don't like it, do it all the time, but that's what has been getting me in the door.
Recognize your strengths.
And you turn your weaknesses into strengths.
Build on your strengths instead of trying to, develop something that you might be able to do.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, bro, that makes so much sense. Just period.
Another pause. Gary Vee. If you want to come and talk on, be on the gas.
Gary Vee has an open invitation to the show.
No, he comes to be sitting in my seat right now. That's what's need to go on.
Come on, Gary, come get with it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be too long. That's one of my goals. I really want to get Gary Vee. I just want to see so much from him.
I just want to see the producer just business from his standpoint.
Facts, and just to hear him.
I'm pretty sure if he just say like, oh, this is what y'all doing wrong. Not even just like wrong, but you know what I'm saying? Just say his
advice.
Did you see the stuff he did with Illmind?
I seen that.
So he did a lot of stuff with Illmind that I really consumed heavily. How are we doing on time?
No, we good.
Okay.
I just always look at the level.
Okay, that I really consumed heavily. But the biggest thing I took away was just changing my mindset, being more positive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so simple.
Bro,
it's too much work to be negative, for real. Bro. It's too much work.
Bro, I just can't treat people like like that. It just take too much energy. I'm already dealing with enough BS on my own today. It's gonna take more energy to cause BS on other people.
But another good thing that I kind of been learning lately is like whenever you always gonna run into people that's gonna put that negative energy on you, but it's like don't take it personally. Like I try not to take it personally because it's just like they may be frustrated with something else. They may have something going on with their kids. They may have something going on at work, and it's just an outlet for them to express it. So when you have that empathy for other people, it not only changes their mindset, but it also makes you feel better too. So
even as a businessman, when I like call people, I just be like, "How are you doing today?" Sometimes, bro, that just...
But a genuine how are you doing
like
today?
Not just like a how are you doing? Like,
hey, how you doing? All right, let's get to business.
Let's get to the money. No, bro, like you good today? Like you alive? You breathing? You like... You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be so cutthroat. Just be like, yo, bro, like, how you doing today? All right, cool. We're both good. We see that, you know what I'm saying? We live, we're smiling. Well, now we can get down to business. We feel comfortable.
More than anything, some of the, when we're doing business, we're connected by group chat. Some of those impactful moments have been like, it was a shooting at a couple different studios in consecutive weeks. And it was just like, yo, y'all straight? Everybody cool? Everybody smooth? Be safe out there. And that's like, to me, that's what matters most. Because, we're going to do business all day, every day. But I know that like the people who I'm doing business like really care if I live or die or if I'm healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all people at the end of the day.
And look, be safe out here. Like I don't care who it is, from an artist, producer, intern, whoever this person is. Like, if you know me, I'm going to make sure, like, hey, bro, how you doing? Like, you good? You have any issues? Like, you good? You can come talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm your friend first. Like, I feel like all the people that y'all see me with, like, I feel like they're my friends. It's not just like on some rap, like, oh, I work with this person, this or that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just leave it at the end of the day, like, yeah, Sam's like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, definitely. Shoot, man, we appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Man,
as always.
I had to get my chance one day. So, I didn't feel like I was cool as everybody else, but I felt, you know what I'm saying?
No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. No.
I ain't got the accolade like everybody
Here's
else.
how you know you the shit, though. We could have made that intro twice as long, but we purposely shortened it.
Sam's been down with us since in Baltimore, man. Like, even before then, and like the Baltimore event.
Me and JB dealing in the trap.
I forgot about Baltimore was the shit when we got a chance to go around the harbor.
Yeah, I just remember that was the first time I really had met you, and like me and you had like just chopped it up. Was in Baltimore, really. So I remember it like ever since then.
Because I was just like, I just be me.
We gotta go back to Baltimore. Baltimore was fun, bro.
Baltimore fun, bro. I love the DMV area, bro. Like my brother,
it's a whole different breed out
like
there.
my brother
so
was
fun.
born in Virginia. My folks stay, like my dad stays in Virginia. I love the DMV music scene. Like I work, like not worked, but when we was in Baltimore, I got introduced to a lot of artists like Band Hunter Izzy. He's dope. And the boy Pirates, you know Pirates?
Yeah,
you know, he be
yeah,
producing all his music, bro. Pirates
Yeah.
dope, bro. That's my brother.
Yeah, they both though, man.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
other
yeah,
artists
I
out
always
there,
wanted to
too.
work like Shad Glizzy and stuff like that. Like Shad Glizzy is
I didn't
dope.
know he was from Baltimore.
Nah, he from DC, but you know what I'm saying? Just the DMV area as a whole.
Yeah.
You know,
Shoot, where can we find you on social medias?
Beats by D Sims everywhere, and Beats by D Sims at Gmail. And then also you can hit my manager up, Hillary Owens. She's a great manager. She not only managed me, she managed my boy MXV and the boy Bezo, who be collabing with Cassius a lot and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely.
And
Hillary's clients having a good year.
yeah, Hillary, man, just working with her just been changing my life. I'm just glad I have a manager that just believe in me, and just not just because like of my career, but she just, you know, she's like a big sister to me. You know, different.
Oh, shoot, man. Once again, we appreciate you, bro.
Man,
Always.
Producergrind 4L.
Yeah.
Another dope episode, man. Signing out.
I love all my brothers who know me, who's out here, man. I just encourage all producers just to keep working, and we're all here together, man. Let's just be together, man. Just work together as one.
Yes,
Got
sir.
your little Beatles vibe going.
Man, for real, man. I'm just, man, out here just trying to be great, man, like everybody else. I feel like it's room for everybody to be great. There is no greatest producer. Everybody can be great. And I just want to inspire myself and the next person to be great.
Already.
That's all I gotta say.
Overproduced.